The Russo-Japanese War was fought between the Empire of Japan and the Russian Empire from 1904 to 1905, primarily over competing imperial ambitions in Manchuria and the Korean Peninsula. The main battle zones were the Liaodong Peninsula and Mukden in southern Manchuria, plus fierce naval clashes in the Yellow Sea and the Sea of Japan, also known as the East Sea.
Japan and Russia were in a situation of international confrontation over the leadership of Manchuria and the Korean Peninsula. In particular, with their victory in the Sino-Japanese War, China ceded Taiwan to Japan and took the initiative in Korea. However, what became a problem here was the problem of having China's Liaodong Peninsula. Japan, which had won the Sino-Japanese War, was supposed to have China's Liaodong Peninsula, but failed due to interference from Germany, Russia, and France. This is known as trilateral interference.
Germany, France, and Russia did not help China because they were good, but because they all had interests in China. At that time, Western European powers were trying hard to gain an advantage in mainland China. In a nutshell, China, a fat pig, was killed and eaten. But the great powers of the West also gathered with knives to slaughter the pig together and share it. From the Japanese point of view, this is totally unfair. Because Japan was trying to occupy the Liaodong Peninsula by sacrificing Japanese soldiers through the war. But the Western powers, who had left their hands and did nothing, intervened and forced the Liaodong Peninsula to be returned, which caused resentment on the Japanese side.
Russia had acquired from China the right to build the Dongcheng Railway, which passed through Manchuria to Vladivostok in the Primorsk territory, and even the right to live in Guangdong province. It was Russia who played an important role in stopping this through interference. Russia acquired the right to build railroads from Manchuria and began to exercise influence over Korea through pro-Russian factions in Korea. Japan could not give up Joseon and Manchuria and attracted allies. At that time, the United States and Britain, especially Britain, were working all over the world to block Russia's policy of moving south. In Asia, it was thought that if Russia moved south, it might threaten British naval hegemony. For a long time, Britain's diplomatic strategy had focused on trying to prevent the emergence of a country with dominant leadership on the European continent and encircling the island nation Britain.
Also, Britain couldn't just let Russia try to increase its power in Asia. However, they were far away, so they tried to contain Russia through an alliance with Japan. The US also supported Japan because it wanted to enter the market in China and other European powers that were friendly to it. So Britain and Japan formed an alliance in 1902. In Japan, there was a public opinion that Manchuria would be given to Russia and Japan should have the Korean Peninsula, and this was communicated to Russia, but Russia rejected it.
Russia ignored the proposal of such a negotiation from Japan, a small country that did not match its national power, and Russia, was aware of the relationship between Britain and Japan, so it could not give up the Korean peninsula to Japan, and the negotiations broke down. At that time, deep-rooted distrust of Russia was formed in Japan after the trilateral interference. In particular, anti-government politicians and the media were at the center, leading to a strong anti-Russian atmosphere.
Japan, after winning the Sino-Japanese War in 1894, attempted to take control of the Liaodong Peninsula, but was forced to relinquish it due to the coercive intervention of Russia, Germany, and France. This loss sparked deep frustration and anger throughout Japanese society, as they felt their natural rights as a victorious nation had been stripped away by the great powers. The Japanese media and leadership were especially furious with Russia. Thank you for watching the video, revised version of the Russo-Japanese War Part 1, provided by History and Current Events. This is Gina, and Sarah, Lily, and Tony have contributed as narrators so far. Thank you.